Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Madam President. Thank you. There are many things about the budget that I don't care for, and some of them have been mentioned, the hospital reductions, the ECS, the layoffs, and, my district, we have a great many state employees in my district. Somebody told me once that 35th district has the most state employees of any Senate district. I don't know if that's true, but it's close. And these are my friends and neighbors. And, I had a list that was given to me by one of the unions today of the layoffs, rape crisis counselors, probation officers, corrections officers, nurses, health officers, medical examiners, and so on. But I'm not going to focus on any one of those three because there are others who are going to do that. But I'd like to talk a little bit about the car tax. When that was introduced last session as revolutionary, I had my doubts because I couldn't imagine we'd be able to keep our hands off that money that was going to reimburse the towns. But even I wasn't so skeptical that I believed that we'd rate it before we actually even got it started. I mean, that's incredible. That is shameful. Now, on this list of 28, I've got 4 towns that I represent. One is going to be hammered in a devastating way. And none of these towns are wealthy towns. We're talking about Ashford, Chaplin, Stafford, Vernon, on the low end of the scale economically. And they're not only getting hammered, but they're getting blindsided. If they had a chance to plan for it, they might have been able to do a better job. I mean, these are pretty resourceful towns. They've never been wealthy. I was on the Board of Finance in Stafford for 6 years. We never had the luxury of a lot of revenue. We always had to scrape by. So we can do that. But you got to give us a little time. You can't blindside us the way this does here today. And then, of course, the way it was done, kind of a shell game. And, these small towns that I represent, Vernon being the largest, has only got about 28,000 people. They're collecting over 90% of their car tax. They didn't have a problem. They were getting it done. Now that money goes into Hartford, supposed to filter back. Before it ever gets started, it doesn't filter back. I've got mayors and first selectmen, and they're in both parties, by the way, who feel like as though they've been cheated and they're not been dealt with in a truthful and honest way. And to say that this budget has no tax increases when you're cutting these municipalities, where do you think they're going to get the money? Where's that going to come from? It's just going to come from a different pocket, but from the same people. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Guglielmo. Senator Bush.